Welcome to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you from the WWDB AM studios. That's 860 on your AM dial. The program is brought to you by American Advertising Services, the Philadelphia area advertising and publicity agency that wants to help you. Call 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. And our guest today is a star in the not just the Philadelphia, five-county, Pennsylvania, New York corridor, but known internationally as well. It's Karen Daroff, the president and principal in charge of design at Daroff Design Incorporated. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
Well, I'm surviving this horrible winter. What can I
We're
tell
all trying.
We're all trying. Anyway, you've been in business how could you be in business for 40 years? You look like you're 18.
Why did you tell anyone that?
Well, you were 12 when you started the business,
Yes, I
right?
was.
What kind of training did you have?
Well, I grew up in Philadelphia, and I stayed in Philly and went to Moore College of Art and Design, where I was able to get a BFA. And then I've taken various graduate courses at Temple and other schools in the area.
How did you know that you wanted to be in the design area?
Well, I really didn't at first, but my parents tried everything with me, and so I had opportunities. I was very fortunate.
What did your
so
parents
they tried.
do?
Well, first they tried ballet on Saturday mornings, and ballet was absolutely not for me. I could not stay up on my toes. And then we did art courses, but of course, everyone in my family are dentists. My father, Albert Credo, was a dentist, and my uncle, Dr. Joseph Shore, was a dentist, and his son, my cousin Jeffrey, is a dentist, and his two children are dentists.
That's why you have such nice teeth.
Yes, Robin and Andy Shore. And they're all graduates of Temple University Dental School. So I'm very proud of that. So the career path was that I was supposed to be a dentist, but I was most interested in the arts, and I showed talent in that area. And so that was the decision that I would pursue something in the commercial arts. It was important to my family that I have a career and that I be able to support myself. And when I started it more, I was really unclear what the exact profession would be. And the wonderful thing about the course was that we were exposed to all different aspects of design. So it would be fashion design or interior design or photography. And actually, for a while, I was very interested in photography, and I took, I think, 4 years of photography. But my parents were very concerned that I would not be able to make a living doing it. And so
Your parents were very wise.
My parents were very worried, as I worry about my son, Robert Rappaport, who aspires to be an actor-writer and is...
Ouch.
Yes.
You have to have a rich mother and a rich father if you want to go into that profession.
He should have been born into another family then. So he's a senior at Sarah Lawrence College in Bronxville, New York.
And how did you launch Daroff Design? How did you attract your first client?
Well, first, I apprenticed. I worked for 3.5 years at the Kling Partnership, which is now Jacobs Architects and Engineers.
Kling.
Yes.
A legendary figure.
And I was there while Vincent Kling was running the company. And I started in the interior design department there, and I was mentored by a wonderful woman architect who I'm still friendly with, named Florinda Delp. And Florinda was a wonderful coach for me. And so really I got my education after Moore while I was working at the Kling Partnership. And
let me interrupt you. We're going to take a time for some messages, and then we'll be back with a fabulous guest, Karen Daroff.
Wow, this is really different. There's a Philadelphia business called Whims for Rent, that creates and does really unusual business special events and promotions. If you're involved in a trade show, business meeting, sales campaign, grand opening, or open house, call Whims for Rent. If you're having a company dinner, a charity gala, or fundraiser and need a theme, call Whims. Whims has stars and stunts, gadgets and gimmicks from hundreds of available sources, entertainers and celebrities. Add flair to your business needs. Whims for Rent, the Philadelphia special events company for business and groups. At Whims, imagination works overtime. Challenge us. Call Whims for Rent.
For more information, contact Wims for Rent at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004, 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004, or call Wims for Rent at 484-562-0067, 484-562-0067 for Wims for Rent.
The Internet today is a must for businesses and organizations to represent themselves. A must. For the generations of business owners who did not have the advantage of an Internet education beginning in grade school, there is basic help. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. Our organization of marketing personnel, traditional and IT, will set up basic Internet advertising aids for your business or organization at a modest fee. Basics. No big deals, no big costs, just basics. Plus a free get-to-know-your-goals meeting. Call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. Be with it, or else you will be out of it. Again, call American Advertising Services at 484-562-0060.
Need a speaker for your business meeting, organization, social group? Need a speaker who is entertaining, informative, or both? Need a speaker who is an authority on a subject close to your interests? We provide them. We are this region's Speakers Bureau. Call us at 484-562-0067, 484-562-0067.
You're listening to The Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're brought to you by American Advertising Services, the Philadelphia area advertising and publicity agency that wants to help you. You can call us at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. And we've been chatting with Karen Daroff, who is, let's say, the designer, the quintessential designer in our neck of the woods. Is that fair to say, Karen?
Well, that's very complimentary. Thank you. You honor me.
Oh, well, I don't think that you need any more honors. She's gotten such a list of honors. And if the name Karen Daroff and Daroff Designs is familiar to you when you're listening, that's because she's been written up everywhere. And she's been one of the outstanding women, the women of distinction, honored by the Philadelphia Business Journal and a lot of other places. And she was telling us how she got her start, that she apprenticed herself to Vincent Kling.
Yes, and that was back in the 70s. And what I found while I was working at Kling was that I also had some skill in the area of marketing and sales. And I started to bring projects into the office and eventually found that I wanted to start my own business and started with some of the names you're going to recognize. What was Girard Bank, and we went on to do maybe 23 or 24 Girard Banks in this region. It's now Mellon.
What did you do for Girard Bank?
We did architecture and interior design. For the branches. They were the branch banks.
So that means the waiting area behind the
whole
screen.
branch. And what we did is help them to establish what was a branded environment, what was recognizable and uniquely special to a Girard Bank. That was their identity, to help them to attract customers.
You had to pick a color palette for them,
finished materials, the style of the architecture,
carpeting.
And it was regional. It really depended where the branch was, and we tried to relate to the contextual environment, but it's at the same time stay true to the brand identity of Girard. We also started working with Prudential Insurance Company, who later went on to be a client of ours for more than 20 years. And then, of course, we're sitting in Bala Cynwyd right now, and just down the road is it the GNB building, Germantown National Bank, GNB building, was Comcast in a small office in that building. And my husband, Jim, who is our architect of record, and I went there one day and met with Ralph Roberts to talk to him about his potential relocation into the city of Philadelphia. And Ralph and I have a disagreement about what the color of the carpet was in the lobby at that time. One of us, and I'm not even sure anymore, one of us remembers that it was orange, and one of us remembers that it was gold shag. And in any event, there was
Sounds wonderful.
There was a small fish tank in the corner. And we had a wonderful meeting with Ralph. And as you probably know, over that period of time until today, we've consistently been working with Comcast, who've been such a wonderful and valued client of ours. And we worked on the interiors of the Comcast Center in Philadelphia at 17th and JFK, and will now be participating in the new tower.
The new tower. That's a lot of floors and a lot of office space, Karen.
It is.
Do you have sleepless nights when you realize what a chunk you took on?
It's a very large team, and the primes on that project are very famous firms named Norman Foster from London, who is globally recognized as an extraordinary architect, as is their partner, Gensler Architects, who we have worked with, is a firm that started in California and now is national and probably the largest architectural firm in this country. And we've teamed very successfully with both of those firms in the past. And so our role will be working on some of the special spaces in the building. And so we're really excited to have this opportunity to work with two such globally recognized firms.
Did you help design, or were you responsible for the? It's like Ralph's Cafe.
Yes, we did.
I love it.
Thank you.
That is so great.
Ralph's, for those who don't know, is on the 43rd and 44th floor of the Comcast Center, and it is a wonderful food service facility for Comcast employees, executives, visitors, and their guests.
And it's bright and beautiful.
Thank you.
And what a view of the city. Oh, my goodness. I've had lunch there a few times. It's just amazing. So now I know it's Daroff Design.
Yes.
That explains why.
Oh, so nice. And the person that we work with at Comcast is Karen Buchholz.
Oh, Karen, what a love she is.
And Karen is such an extraordinary, inspirational leader, and we've been working with her since we started on the tower.
Karen, I guess David inherited her from Rendell because she was in the Rendell administration.
That's right.
And she was a deputy mayor.
And Karen ran the Republican National Convention here in Philadelphia.
I was a volunteer. Believe it or not, I am the quintessential Democrat. But when Rendell reached out to the Philadelphia Public Relations Association and asked us to volunteer to work for 6 months pro bono to cultivate national and international press because he had succeeded in getting the Republican presidential convention to meet here. He tried to get the Democratic convention too, but they foolishly went probably someplace like San Francisco or whatever, New York. But it was a very interesting experience.
Well, no one can say no to Ed.
Well, the Democrats said no to Ed.
Well, that was their mistake, unfortunately.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. But David L. Cohen, he's just the most remarkable person.
He is. He is absolutely brilliant.
And Rendell was smart enough to get the smartest guy in the room to be glued to his side the whole time he was mayor and a lot of time that he was governor. And I know that he and David probably has a phone. He doesn't have to dial. He just presses one button and Ed's at the other end of the line all the time. Absolutely. So you've got a client list that anybody would faint for because you've got NBC Universal and Sony, and now you've got another bank in your list of clients, Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank,
and I think you may remember Steve Steinauer when he was in Philadelphia.
Sure.
We did their headquarters for them at Comcast Center. But then Steve moved to Columbus, Ohio, and called us, and we worked with him and his very talented team on the development of their branded environment for Huntington Bank. So relationship is very important. We find you asked, how did we get started and how do we keep our clients? And I think it really is about relationship and exceeding expectations.
And you mentioned your husband, Rappaport. What's his first name?
Yes, James Rappaport, Jim.
Do you work together?
Yes, we do. Jim heads our architectural team.
How many people do you employ?
We're at about 35 people, Bonnie.
Oh, that's a big firm.
It's a big payroll.
Yes, I was going to say.
every 2 weeks.
That's true. It's easier to issue the checks when you have electricity, however, right?
Yes, for all of us.
Did your headquarters lose power during one of the many snowstorms we've had?
No, we didn't lose power. We lost heat for a brief amount of time, but the everything was taken care of.
Oh, you're very lucky.
We did have a flood from a broken pipe above, though, into our office, which was a little difficult to manage, but we got past that.
You saved the computers, right?
Yes, we did.
Oh, my goodness, that's important. All right, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back with Karen Daroff.
All American Sports Collectibles is the only place you need to know for all your autographed sports memorabilia. Jerseys, bats, helmets, and more, signed by legends of the past and today's greats. All autographed items come with a certificate of authenticity, plus an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. And all vintage items have been scientifically authenticated and come with 2 forensic certificates. Call us at 877-827-7822. That's 877-827-7822. Visit us online to see our extensive inventory of autographed sports memorabilia. That's aasportscollectibles.com. That's aasportscollectibles.com.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many, many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. Per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Bala Cynwyd, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060.
Would you or a relative like to own your own business? Are you a friend of a business associate wanting to break away or have been terminated from their current job? Do you know a retired military or other early retiree looking to be their own boss by acquiring their own business? Do you know someone desiring to sell their business? Sunbelt is your area business broker. Sunbelt sells more businesses than anyone else. That's Sunbelt. Sunbelt Businesses Brokers. Contact Stephen Rosson. He's the president of the area's Sunbelt office. Call him personally at 610-941-2177. That's 610-941-2177. Sunbelt sells more businesses than anyone else. 610-941-2177.
Welcome back to the Marketing of Business. This is your host, Bonnie Squires. We're coming to you as usual from WWDB-AM, that's 860 on your AM dial. And the program is brought to you by American Advertising Services, the Philadelphia area advertising and publicity agency that wants to help you. So just call us at 484-562-0060. That's 484-562-0060. And we've been chatting with Daroff, who's an award-winning design consultant, the head of Daroff Design for 40 years, though she looks about 18. Did you ever model, Karen?
I thought about it.
I bet you did.
Yes, I really did. When I was first married to Mitchell Daroff, I went to Wilhelmina Studio in New York.
That's a big one, Wilhelmina.
Yes, and they sent me to have photographs taken. And after that experience, I decided that it wasn't something I enjoyed. I didn't like being in front of the camera, and I didn't feel that I was being valued for my mind, and it wasn't for me.
And they didn't make you take your clothes off, did they?
No, not much, anyway.
Anyway, you've got several big projects on your horizon right now. At least you're focusing like a laser beam on several of them. So talk about some of those projects.
Well, we're just finishing a very exciting one in Orlando for Universal Studios. Over the last 10, 15 years, we've been doing the hotels at the Universal Entertainment in Orlando. And the one that we're working on now is an 1,800-room resort.
1,800 rooms.
Yes, and it's going to be fabulous. It's called Cabana Bay.
Cabana Bay.
It's called Cabana Bay Resort in Orlando, and it's themed in a mid-century modern. So if you think about Mad Men on TV, it's that period of time, the 1950s and 1960s. And we're just finishing another very large project at the airport, which is the link between terminals D and E. We created a new link at Philadelphia Airport, the new security and retail link between terminals D and E, and the new hammerhead at the end of E.
What does hammerhead mean?
It means it's the addition onto the concourse, and it's a rounded form, like at the end of a hammer. So you have the length of the concourse, and at the end it splays out with retail and seating for the traveling public. So, and it also gives us more gates. It distributes the gates. And then in addition to that, where we were the architect of record, we were a sub to another architectural firm where we worked in collaboration with the Seward Partnership on the interiors of the new hub at Terminal F, which is all new food service and concessions. And it's fabulous. If you haven't seen it, you should really go and check it out.
What happens when the client disagrees with your professional recommendation?
Well, you know, as designers, it's our job to provide alternate solutions to our clients and to provide them with our best professional consultation. And then it's the client's responsibility to make the decision.
Okay. But sometimes you just have to grit your teeth, right? When they make the wrong decision.
I think we're really blessed in that we have fabulous clients, and that's how we have fabulous projects, because without great clients, there's just not great projects.
There is a project looming on the horizon in Philadelphia, what used to be the Family Court building. That's now all the counter charges and lawsuits are out of the way, and it's going to be a hotel, apparently. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so the city sent out an RFP for development teams to respond with hotel proposals. And we're with the Logan Square Holdings team with Kenny Goldenberg and Justin Gray and Warren Field from Pyramid Hotels and Fairmont. Fairmont is our operator, which is a 5-star operator, which would be very, very exciting for the city. All of us and all of them are investing in this, and we're down to the final 3 contenders for the project, and we've received a great deal of support from the Parkway groups, the Barnes and the Moore College of Art and the Franklin Institute, all of which I believe would be very happy to see a 5-star property there for our tourists and our visitors.
Especially since the Four Seasons Hotel has announced they're going to relocate. And we don't know how many years it will take for the second Comcast Center to be built, but they'll be on the top 4 floors or something like that.
They'll be on the top of the new Comcast tower, yes.
So that will leave their gorgeous facility at the head of the Parkway vacant for what?
For some other brand. Which will most likely not be a 5-star brand. And so we feel that because of the beautiful historic fabric of the family court, that it would be so appropriate to celebrate the period and to do something at a very high quality like a Fairmont hotel. So fingers crossed that that our team will be able to proceed and do something really fabulous for the city.
If you've ever been to Boston and stayed at the Fairmont or just had tea at the Fairmont, you know what a magnificent, elegant, classical hotel it is. I stayed there years ago, and I just loved it. It was amazing.
You know, a lot of people aren't aware of many of the properties that Fairmont does own and operate, such as the Savoy in London or the Plaza in New York. They have some of the really great hotels of the world, and that's what we're hoping we can bring to Philly.
Eloise at the Plaza. It would be nice to have Eloise at the Fairmont.
Wouldn't it?
Phyllis at the Fairmont. We'll have to change the name so that it alliterates, right?
We're really, other projects, we're working with Mohican on a new tower with Cohn Pedersen Fox in Connecticut. We're working on
That's a casino.
Yes, a casino. Yes, hotel.
And we may soon have an additional casino hotel in Philadelphia.
Yes, and it'll be interesting to see which one is selected, and we're certainly hoping that one is selected.
I'm rooting for Market 8 because I know some of the guys involved, and they've been friends of mine for many years. Not that I have a dime's worth of investment in any of those, unfortunately, but I'll be the first one in line for the slot machines.
Well, that's good to know.
So, how do you, with a name as prominent as Daroff Design, doesn't sound as if you have to do any marketing or advertising, but I guess you're constantly out there talking to people and showing your wares. How many?
Well, after 40 years
how many media sources do you use for advertising?
Well, we don't advertise.
Okay.
We don't. We do marketing, and as I said, relationship building. The great majority of our clients have been with us for many, many years. I would say perhaps 80 to 85% of our clients are repeat clients.
That's incredible.
And the rest is mostly word of mouth, but occasionally we will respond to requests for proposals if we have a relationship with the client. Additionally, I think it's important quickly to mention that we are a woman-owned business. We're a WBE, and so when there are difficult or challenging economic times, we can take advantage of our WBE status, and that helps us with public sector projects. And it really has helped us to keep our core team together during difficult times because, as you know, it can be challenging to be a small business. But we've been very fortunate in that we are a strong brand, and I believe that now, after all this time, that we have a brand recognition globally, and we find that we get requests for projects from all over the world. In fact, in a couple of months, I'll be traveling to Russia, and we're currently working.
Are you taking your skis with you?
No, I don't ski
the Olympics
anymore.
Will be finished by
yes,
then.
No more skiing for me. I'm just, but after seeing some of the hotel rooms there, I think they may need us.
They didn't finish some of the hotels in time for the Olympics. Unfortunately, they didn't use Daroff Design. That's why they didn't.
And
make
that obviously was their biggest mistake.
Big
but we're
mistake.
on the way. We're on our way.
Do you have time for hobbies?
I do. I still do some photography, and I work out. I enjoy working out, not as often as I would like, and I'm involved in some charitable areas too. The 11th Street Family Health Center at Drexel is one that I've become involved in recently, and I support Moore College of Art and a few other charities.
Oh, and that's why I saw you at the Schellers apartment when they had a big fundraiser. She loves politics, too.
That's right.
She's very knowledgeable.
Well, Steve and Sandy Scheller have become good friends, and I have a lot of respect for them.
And they're such amazing philanthropists.
They really are.
They really are, because they gave to Drexel and they gave to Temple, wherever they've got a degree between them. Anyway, our guest today has been Karen Daroff, and we look forward to seeing you on the radio next week.
Thank you.